Welcome back to the lunch table, food for thought. I'm Nico Blitz. You already know where to hit that subscribe button, man. Shout out to my next guest. She came out with an EP called Bitch Bop, and she has a new record out called Baddie right now. I'm not gonna try to sing it because I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of it. Do you want to hit it?
I'm not gonna hit it, but you should hit it.
It was like,
I feel like you just.
No,
Wow, that was good. You were
kind of off tone, just a little bit.
Yeah, next time you should come into the studio and we can duet.
Okay,
yeah, that was really good.
We could put it on YouTube and everything.
Yeah.
Shout out to my next guest, Emily Vaughn. What up?
What's up, guys? Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
I was creeping on your Instagram, and I'm so happy that you just got the pink hair, yesterday or something,
I
right?
did, yeah. I fully committed to pink because, right now it's actually a wig. I was I don't want to wash my hair, even though it's already pink, so I'm gonna put on a pink wig.
Wait, that's a wig right
This
now?
a wig.
Oh,
but my hair is pink under the wig.
Got you.
I was like, this is laziness at its best.
So you decide to go pink, winter-ish?
I don't even...
What sparked the decision?
I don't know if you creeped hard enough to see my caption that was my hair decisions are correlated with my mental breakdown. So, anytime I'm oh my God, what am I doing with my life? I'm like, I'll dye my hair. That will fix it. So, went pink.
I got you. You kind of just need to brighten up the day
You
a
know
little
what?
bit more.
Brighten up my life. Starting with
you.
pink hair. So, pink has been my vibe forever. So, I'm
got you. I kind of wanted to start this off because, I work at Real 92.3 and our sister station is Kiss FM.
Love it.
And every time I pass by JoJo in the radio studio, occasionally I'll hear a Drake song, I'll hear Sicko Mode by Travis Scott, or I'll hear Big Bang by YG. And Kiss FM is naturally a pop station.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking to myself, well, I know what a pop song sounds like. I kind of know the formula of it.
Right.
But then why are the pop stations playing hip hop, and why is pop just short for popular music?
Right.
You know how confusing that is?
It is kind of confusing.
You kind of don't even know what pop music is anymore.
It's kind of just going in and out of everything. I feel like hip hop even has some pop in it, and R&B is pop. I feel like everything's just kind of merging right now.
Yeah.
That genres are kind of disappearing. It's someone told me I was trap, EDM, pop the other day, and I was like, that I'm pissed. But then I was like, that's true. I was like,
trap,
I'm pissed.
EDM, pop.
You were right.
I
don't know. I have some songs
see
like
it.
that. Dead to Me, I would say is
yeah, one of those
pop
trap
EDM,
EDM pop.
Yeah, Baddie's just pop as fuck. Oh,
Yeah.
Can I cuss on this show?
No,
Okay.
of course you can cuss. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
Yeah, whatever the fuck we want. I was like, bitch bobs, everything I say is bleeped out. I'm like, sorry.
So then So I guess we're coming into this time where music's just kind of blending. I think what I appreciate about your music, though, is the brutal honesty that you put in. Because if we even go back as far as, 5 years ago, I don't think pop stars were using cuss words in their records.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy because I feel like a lot of people are always like, oh, pop is the cleanest, genre, whatever. I'm like, I'm just going to talk about what's actually happening in my life. And if I want to say you're dead to me or you fucked it up in one night, that's real. I'm going to say that shit. So, sorry.
Well, I guess to that point, at the end of the day, pop music is supposed to be relatable to everybody, right?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, too. And that's why I was I grew up listening to Taylor Swift and I was obsessed with her, and she was the cleanest, she's never cussed in a song, but it was the most relate, every single song was, by the way, those vocals were fire.
And then,
every song I remember just sitting in my room, and I had never had a heartbreak, and I was teardrops on my guitar. I was a boy had never even talked to me, and I was he's the reason for that. I was crying. Oh my God.
What'd you say is your favorite Taylor Swift album? Because I actually have one.
Do you actually?
Mine is actually Red.
I kind of want to agree with you there. I think Red might be the best. I do think songwriting, the vibe. I'm just it's fall now. It's quit.
Red was the one with 22, right?
Was it 22?
I don't know about you.
Was it 22 or 1989? No, it was Red.
I'm pretty sure it was Red.
I think so, yeah.
That's the reason why I gravitated toward Red.
I'm feeling 22.
I think I was 18 at the time when the shit came out. And I'm
right.
Yeah.
And you're yo, I'm feeling 22.
Yeah. But even we see Taylor Swift's transformation. She went from very acoustic-y, and then she got on that bad bitch mode with her past couple albums.
Yeah, I think she did a really good job at switching in and out of genres. Because, that bitch went country. She went pop. She went like she rapped for a second.
Right.
I was like, she did everything.
She was on a Beats commercial, like on a treadmill, rapping and shit.
Yeah.
To, like Jumpman by Drake, and I'm
I
like,
remember
this
that.
is super iconic for some reason.
It was very iconic.
Yeah.
She was favored in my tweet the other day. And,
Ooh, what was the tweet?
So I'm really famous now, so I actually have to go.
The price went
up.
I
was like, yo,
she's like, I gotta
here,
go
but
now.
I actually gotta head out. So. I'm like, so sorry.
It's like, look, we 5 minutes a little bit too late now.
I'm like, it's a little too late, but
what was your tweet?
I just responded to her tweet about all the drama about not being able to perform her music, and I was just like, yo, we're on your side. And then she favorited it, and I was like, that's my girl.
But I mean, to that point, I think you should know that you should own your masters. And so on and
it's
so
a whole
forth.
drama.
Yeah.
It is, but that's my girl. So
shout out to T Swizzle, you dig?
Shout out to T Swift.
Well, so I actually saw. You're from Florida, right?
Yes.
And I actually saw that you grew up on NASA somehow.
I
did. Is that correct?
Yeah, like right by it, because it's like, shout out Merritt Island, but it's like Cape Canaveral is like right there, and it's like NASA and just the whole thing. So like grew up, spaceships were going up and shaking my house, and I was like, am I gonna die? But no, it's just,
How was that interesting to you? Because it seems like you kind of grew up in a situation where that was normal, but that's not really normal. It was super normal.
Like rockets, like all of it. It's just like, I originally I moved there because my dad wanted to get a job at NASA because he's an aircraft mechanic, but ends up working, he just works for American Airlines now, but not as cool.
Free flights,
yeah. It's clutch, but yeah, NASA's like crazy. It was like you literally just wake up, your whole house is like shaking. It's just a rocket.
Do you have like a weird memory when like a rocket was going up and you probably thought it was like an earthquake or
like for a long time? And then honestly, I feel like an earthquake could have happened. I would have been woken up and been like, it's not a big deal. It's like it's totally just a rocket. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's probably why I'm unbothered in California now.
Yeah, because you're just like, man.
Like, it's probably just a shuttle. I don't know what it is. Rocket.
It's like 9 earthquake. We're good.
I'm fine.
I was next to fire my entire life.
It's all good.
Did you ever have any aspirations of wanting to do NASA or like working in like an aircraft?
None. No, that was never in my mind.
I'm just saying because your dad wanted to do the flights and then you had NASA right there.
Right, I know. You would think.
Proximity.
I'm like, man, I'm just over here writing about my feelings, but
how early did you start writing?
Astronaut. I've been doing music my whole life. As far as like my mom said, I had like a little like tape recorder, and I was like 4, just like mumbling like melodies and like writing songs, and I would like force my family. I'd like set up like a whole like stage in my living room and have like stuffed animals watching me, and I would just like perform and make my family watch me. But yeah, that was the start of my career, my blooming career at 4 or 5
Do they have
years
footage of that?
I want it. And like,
because
I feel like
it would make such a dope music video.
I know. Wouldn't that be cute? Wait, I could like redo it. How cute.
You should just get like a little girl or something and then kind of just like recreate it.
That's cute. I like that. I actually really like that. But yeah, I've just been like singing.
5%, by the way.
Yeah. Right here. We got it on camera. We literally got it on camera.
Right.
That's funny. But yeah.
So you kind of always knew that you wanted to be in music. Did you was your mom musically inclined?
Yeah, so that's another thing. Like, I low-key need to, like, remaster. Because she, like, in the 80s, she made cassettes of pop music. And it was good, but she never did it full-time. Like, she went to school for art, and so she's an artist. But, like, painting and, like, sculpting and stuff. I'm, like, I'm not an artist. I'm, like, I'm an artist. She's an artist, but we're different.
Not a singing artist, but, like, a painter.
Yeah, like, I'm, like, gesticulating. I'm, like, painting. But she can sing and, like, write music. And she had these really cute, like, cassettes of like pop music. I'm like, oh my god, like we need to get this shit remastered.
I know, right?
So yeah, like I grew up, knowing she did music and like in like piano lessons, guitar, and like singing in choir and like school plays and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But like I didn't actually think it would be like a career because it's like Florida and small town vibes. It's like nobody's doing it. It's like not really. It's not plausible. You know what I mean? So like. Actually chasing it after a career, everyone's like, what are you doing?
What city in Florida?
It's called Merritt Island. It's
okay.
like a little island, small. In Brevard County. It's like nobody knows where it is.
So then what's like the typical what's like the whole nine for somebody who grows up at Merritt Island? Like, do you just grow up middle school, high school, college, come back?
Yeah, so I kind of grew up in Clearwater, and then for just like elementary school, and then I moved to Merritt Island like middle high school, and like the couple years in high school, I was actually homeschooled and I dual enrolled in college. Wow. Yeah. And I got my certificate in photography. I was like, I'm going to be a photographer. And like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And I dyed my hair pink then too, actually. I was like having another existential crisis.
Mental breakdown,
my hair
like
was
at
pink.
that young age?
Yeah. I was like, it's been going on for a while now. But yeah, and then I did that and I went to music school for a year in Fort Lauderdale after that and dropped out.
Dropped out of music school?
Dropped out of
Why?
music school. Because I was stupid, and I mean, I don't think it was stupid. Actually, for me, I think it was probably a good decision because I just was like, I'm gonna move to Nashville because it's the closest thing to Florida, and like I had a boyfriend there at the time, low key.
Hey man,
I was like,
hey, look. For the record, I kind of did the same shit. I had an ex girl who was like living in Fullerton.
Yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, I can go to Cal State.
Yeah, you're like, it'll probably be like a positive life thing for me. I can do my career, but really, you're just like,
and then you just.
Yeah. No, it was. I mean, I was working 2 jobs in Nashville. Like, I was like hanging with him, but I was like kind of doing sessions. Like, I was like getting like more into it. So yeah, I made it happen eventually, but it was like a slower build because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Well, yeah, and at that point you're juggling a relationship and 2 jobs, right, and also trying to like book some sessions for
and just
yourself.
Get yourself in the door. Like it's just when you're like a new artist too, people are like, "Who are you?" You know. But
so then, when you decide to let go of the boyfriend and let go of the 2 jobs that you had to really just go full force with the music?
It happened with the boyfriend letting go of me. And then I was like, okay, now probably should have dyed my hair pink at that point, but I didn't. I was like, I'm going to move to LA. And I'm like, I'm going to go make this shit actually happen for myself. So that was like 2 years ago, two and a couple months.
Oh, wow. That's super recent.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And so I was like, I'm just going to move to LA and go on a standby flight because my dad works for the airlines. So I moved with 2 bags on a standby flight and a little broken heart. And I was like, I'm going to go write music about my feelings. And I did it.
Holy shit. So then when you moved out here, did you have anybody you could stay with, or did you kind of just have to finesse yourself?
Yeah, I did the couch searching. Like, I slept on a couch for a couple months, then I lived in a closet for a second, and now I have a bed in a room, and it's dope.
How was it living in the closet?
You know what? It was like...
I've heard people pay $500 for a closet next to a bathroom.
It was $800 for a closet, straight up. It's LA.
God,
I'm like...
Damn.
It was crazy. But it was fun. I mean, like, I was just, like, in session so much and just, like, got really lucky actually coming out here. Just, like, getting super connected and just, like, in sessions all the time. And I was like, I'm in LA. I'm doing it. It's fine.
Who were you working with when you first moved out here?
Just kind of a bunch of, like, originally I came out and did the songwriting game and was just kind of writing for other artists and, like, different companies, like APG and, you know, just BMG and a bunch of different companies with, you know, artists that I was writing for because I was still like kind of branching out with my own stuff. So I worked with like a bunch of people that I was like, these people are too cool for me, but I'm doing it anyways.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you're in the room too.
Yeah, I know. And then eventually I was like, oh, I'm the shit. I was like, I get it now. But now I'm here, so.
So then, like, I guess being in all those sessions, did you get a better understanding of, we all know there's a formula.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was kind of heartbroken once I realized, like, what this pop formula is in particular.
Right.
And so being in these sessions, like, countless times, did you kind of get that sense, too? Like, damn, like, everything is just so numeric to the point where it's a lot more predictable for the wider audience to gravitate towards.
Right. I kind of don't fuck with that. Like, I feel like I've never done that for myself, at least. Like, I feel like I write really quickly and like I write what I'm feeling and I'm like super honest with everything. So I don't feel like I've really followed like a formula really with my music or like even stuck to like one genre in that. Yeah. So it hasn't completely broken me yet with like the whole like pop songwriting, like this is what you have to do, like it's math kind of thing. Like I haven't really let anyone like tell me to do that yet. So but even when you write for like other people too, damn, it can be.
You're lucky. You're really lucky.
It can be cutthroat. It's definitely hard out here, but like you just have to like go in and like if you're writing for someone else, I think that's what's made it cool. Like writing for myself, because it's like if you can write someone else's story, I feel like you can start like actually like really honing in on your own. And obviously mine has just been like confident and like bitch bops and like being sassy but a baddie, but like, you know, I think like the biggest thing for me is just like confidence and like instilling that where I can, and like even if I'm not feeling like a bad bitch, like going in and writing a song called Baddie, you're gonna leave like I'm a fucking baddie.
Yeah, right.
Like that's just it now. I'm like, damn. But
so then how do you break the barrier between like, okay, like I'm this confident bitch, right?
Right.
And that's Emily Vaughn. And then how do you like get in and start writing for somebody else? Like, do you physically have to be in with somebody, or because, you know, 9 times out of 10 it's like, hey, we need you to write this song for Camila Cabello, and it's like, all right, now I got to put myself in Camila Cabello's shoes. Like, how do you differentiate like your personal work versus writing for somebody else?
Sometimes it is helpful to be in the room with other people, because I mean, even if you're just having a conversation with someone, like likely you're gonna have some sort of inspiration of like what's going on in their life and like how to make that like into a song. Mm-hmm. So like it's definitely easier when you're in the room with an artist, because then you're like, okay, this is actually what's going on in your life, like right now, like let's write about it. But if it's like, you know, someone massive where you're just watching from the outside, it's like it's kind of hit or miss, because you don't really know what's going on, because let's be real, social media. Yeah. Like we don't really know. Like, but I can guess.
It's like, Halsey, do you want to talk about G-Eazy?
Yeah, no. I'm like, we're not going there. I'm like, Keith. Skirt.
Oh shit. We'll get out of that hella quick.
Yeah, we're like,
we'll get out of that. Shout out to G-Eazy, you know.
Shout out.
Bay Area's finest. So who's been like, I guess, your favorite person to work with since moving to LA?
I guess it kind of like fluctuates, because I work with a bunch of people, but I'm gonna shout out Josh Murdy, because he did Baddie with me, and he did this next song that I'm like obsessed with. It's not out yet, so we have just like a good vibe together and have been making some really cool stuff. But I also work with like Gazzo, shout out Gazzo, love you. Let's go. He did a lot of stuff with me on Bitch Bops and like some other songs I've put out, and yeah, just a lot of people. But I could sit here and be like, yo, these are the best people ever.
Yeah,
but
right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, give people their due diligence.
Yeah, for real.
The idea of Baddie, where did that come from?
I feel like same thing with like Bitch Bops. Like people would just say like Bitch Bops to their like songs are like Bitch Bops, and then eventually it stuck, and I was like, you're right. I should just call my EP Bitch Bops. So it just kind of stuck, and I feel like people would always like comment on my shit and be like Baddie or like whatever, and I'm like, okay, that's me. So, and then it just happened in the room. Like I didn't even go in and like think like, oh, today I'm gonna write a song about being a baddie. It was just like, that is literally what was sung when I started singing the melody. I was like, okay, this is what the song is.
Do you kind of just like go in and freestyle, or do you like have to like write something down?
I like to freestyle. Personally, I like to just like go in and like I usually start with melodies, and I'll just like sing in a bunch of melodies and like auto-tune the shit out of it, and then it sounds great. Nice. And then I'm like, okay, that was the melody I like, and then I'll usually like write a concept to like whatever the melody like makes me feel, you know? Because usually I like to start there.
So then you did say that you tend to like write quickly. Mm-hmm. Which song did you say was like the fastest you did on Bitch Bops?
I probably wrote Dead to Me in like 45 minutes, like top line wise. Like I just kind of did like the whole thing. Shout out Diamond Pistols. He produced that one and like killed it. But yeah, that one was pretty fast top line wise. I had a lot of feelings that day.
What was going on that day?
Yeah, you were like, what was going on that day? I'm like, more things to go into.
You know, it's a podcast. We can talk about anything.
Let's talk. It's a safe space. Okay, well, actually, at that point, I kind of wrote that one from my best friend's perspective, because she had the guy she was dating, her roommate / best friend hooked up with the guy she was dating. And I was like, this bitch is dead to me. I was like on the phone with her, like walking into the studio, and I was like, okay, he's dead to me. Yeah. And then wrote it from that perspective. But I'm like, hopefully they don't watch this. I'm like, not gonna send this to her. I'm like,
don't worry.
She doesn't have to know.
Hopefully they don't make it like 20 minutes into the interview.
Yeah, they won't. Can you imagine?
I know, like,
it's like just this random guy that's like out of the picture now is like watching everything I do. I'm like, oh god.
Did you ever tell your friend that that's the situation that you like based this on?
Oh, she knows. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's funny. She's like, it was her anthem. I like sent it to her. I was like, this will get you through it. I was like, here you go.
I will say though, I think my favorite record off Bitch Bops is definitely Pieces.
Yeah.
What's funny is that like I think when I was in the car, I was just like scrolling through it, and I was like, oh, she has a song called Pisces, dope. and then I clicked on it. I'm like, Wait, she's saying Pieces. Pisces, so it hella like threw me up, and I was like, "Fuck!" I thought it said Pisces.
And I'm running out of Pisces.
And then I had like this whole like stream of questions, like, "Okay, that means she's born in March because I'm born in March and all that type of shit."
April, Taurus.
Nice.
Yeah.
April Fool's Day.
Oh.
When's your birthday?
April 28th. I wish it was April Fool's Day.
Ooh,
I could just troll everybody.
But so the song Pieces.
Yes. That's my favorite too, actually.
Yes.
On the EP.
There we go. There we go.
Go bonding.
So how'd that song come about?
That song, what do you mean, like studio vibes or like what it was about?
Yeah, like what was it about?
So that song was like at the point in my life I was actually still living in a closet when I wrote that one, and I feel like it was I had a lot of relationships and just a lot of things going on in my life at that point where I felt like I was giving like a lot to other people and I didn't have like anything left to give back to myself. So that was like I'm just running out of pieces to like have for me right now because I'm like doing so much for other people. So that one was written pretty quickly too because I also had a lot of feelings when I went in that day. No, I mean, I'm like, I have feelings. It's fine.
I definitely hear you. I think because being in this industry, this life is extremely demanding that it's hard to kind of like give yourself the musical energy that you need, give yourself to another person, and then give yourself like that personal time that you need. Like, you know, like in the midst of all of it, it's like, where do you actually relax?
It's so hard. Yeah. And that song for me was like a huge, like, I feel like sometimes I don't even realize I'm writing what I need when I'm not like realizing what I need in my life. Like I'm writing a song and then later I'm like, wow, like I didn't even really think I related to it as much as I did at the time. I was just like disassociating and writing this song. But like, yeah, it's just like one of those things that's like you need creative energy, but you also need like time for yourself to be able to like get that creative energy and like time that you're not investing in people that aren't investing back in you, you know, like making sure that you're healthy in like your relationship and your careers and like your relationship with yourself and everything. So that's kind of what Pieces was for me.
Well, you know, you said that you usually go with the pink whenever you have like a mental breakdown. And, you know, Pieces obviously being the song where you're trying to like, you know, kind of put yourself together because you're so scattered. Like, so like, where are you like, I guess, health-wise, mentally?
I'm super open with like fans and stuff on social media and like everything about like my battle with depression and everything. Like I've definitely, you know, I've had depression my whole life. So it's just kind of like it's ups and downs and just like fighting it and like finding things that make me happy and like finding and music is that for me. It's like the one I'm so thankful that I have that outlet of like, you know, you can go to therapy and whatever and talk through your stuff. And it's like, but I feel like writing a song about something and just like, one, it solidifies, it's like a tattoo. It's just like, this is like where I was at in my life at this time and like how I got through it and where I'm at now. And like, I think it's like a super helpful thing for me with like depression or anxiety or anything. Cause it's like, you can go in and like be totally honest and like people relate to that. And then it's like, you're not only like helping yourself, but like so many people have been like, this is where I was at in my life when the song came out, or like, this has helped me in this way or through this breakup or whatever. And it's so crazy because it's like, we're all like in the same place, you know, like life is so stressful for everybody. I feel like, but music just kind of makes it so we can all relate to each other.
For sure. And I think the fact that I guess you can create a song that can gravitate toward other people because they're feeling the exact same way. Like I've noticed whenever I was in depressive states, like I always felt like, fuck, man, I'm the only one fucking feeling this way.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? But it's like, I guess when you create a song like that and everybody else can relate to you, like, do you feel like that kind of helps you out too, knowing that other people are like, yo, like, I feel the exact same way you do?
100%. Because I think it's just like human connection. Like, we all want to feel like that. I think that's why we're also obsessed with social media, because it's like we all feel like we're connected, even though it's like not really that real, but like we're connected. This is great. But like, yeah, it's definitely important to like share your stories with that. I think it's important to be open about it because, I mean, if you can help other people not feel alone, and if you can, like, you know, even help yourself not feel alone, I think you should, you know?
Have you had, like, one particular fan who kind of, like, sticks out in your head, like they responded to you, like, whether it be, like, through a song or through, like, a post that you did, and you were just like, oh, wow, like, I really impacted someone's life with this piece of content?
Yeah, I mean, like, I always read my DMs and, like, I'll even, like, message requests and everything, and, like, I went through the other day and, like, read a bunch of them, and they were just, like, either, like, you know, over that really helped me through this breakup of, like, you know, 2 years or whatever, and, like, all this stuff, and I'm like, it's just crazy when you actually go through and read it, because it's, like, all I did was write a song about what happened to me, you know, and then you're like, wait, people are going through this, too, you know? So I get a lot of messages like that. I think just because, like, I write really, you know, I'm just really emotional and I'm always writing about my feelings. So I'm like, everyone's like, yo, I have that too. And I'm like, okay, great. So we're all making each other feel better here. I'm like, this is great.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a real beautiful thing. So, like, music aside, how else do you help fulfill your sanity?
Yes, that's super important, especially in LA, because it's like such a crazy, like, constant city.
No, to be honest, traffic was one of the things that really added to my sanity, but then I work like 5 minutes away, so I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I never have to deal with traffic again.
That's great. Seriously. Oh my God. I'm like all over the place all the time, so always stuck in traffic. But I think like being out and active, like being in the sun, going on hikes, like spending time with friends, working out. Occasionally I play some tennis. I'm not that great, but you know, anything that's like serotonin, I'm like, let's go. Just like spending time with friends and getting out and making sure you're like also having some time for yourself. You know, I love those self-care days. I'm in, you know, Netflix in bed with a face mask, like drinking some tea and there's some essential oils and candles lit. And I'm like, let's go. Self-care.
I haven't had one of those days.
You
in a
need
minute.
one. I will always like
She's like, you look like you need one.
No, you don't need one like that. All right. Okay. I'm like, no, you deserve one. Let me rephrase. I'm like, go to Target, get yourself a bottle of champagne, nice little face mask, maybe like, I don't know, I guess you.
You ever fuck with like the charcoal on your face?
Oh yeah, I have those under eye masks too. I like wake up, I'm like, under eye masks. Now I will never age.
Is it okay? Because now I'm getting into this mode in which I think when people look at pop stars kind of have to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that doesn't that become like demanding in a sense, because it's like you always have to look at your A game? You know what I mean? Like,
no, 100%. It's like I really relate to a lot of artists that are like I love Maggie Rogers or like Carly Hansen, like just like girls that like look fucking dope, but like maybe don't have to like be on 10 all the time. But there's also like so many artists that like look stunning all the time and like actually do put in all of the work, you know. But I think that it works either way, where it's if you're walking out with full beat and like, you know, full look beat. And full, you know, pony and whatever else is like amazing. But if like you also can identify as like yourself as an artist with no makeup and like just looking like chilled, that's great too. But I think what's cool right now is like I don't really think there's as many like barriers. I think like there's a lot of artists that just kind of are doing what they want, and if that's, you know, full beat, great, and if it's not, amazing. So I'm kind of in the middle. Like I'll be like walking around looking crazy half the time, and the other time I'm like full beat, ponytail, fake nails.
Half the time it's like wig off.
Right, wig off. That's a whole moment. The wig off is like that's what I look like? Fuck. That and the lashes. That's a real moment, ladies. When you pull the lashes and the wig off, you're like, what the fuck?
Oh, God.
Who is that?
How long it take you? Like, do an hour for your lashes just to put them on?
Well, now I have eyelash extensions, so that shit takes me no time.
No time. You just wake up, they're already there.
Wake up. Flawless.
I think from an artist perspective, if they end up looking at your bio, it said that a lot of your music gets played on like ABC, NBC, MTV, retail stores, and all that.
Yes.
I think a lot of artists would have a lot of dying questions on how do you go about that?
It's been a lot of random outlets. Like when I put out Bitch Bops, you know, Jealous, I think got on like H&M and like different like retail outlets at Starbucks, and for sync stuff, usually if I do a song for like a show or whatever, then it'll end up on NBC or MTV or whatever. But that was specifically like a sync thing. So it kind of just depends. Like I have a song, actually Pieces is going to be on this new Netflix show coming out that I'm excited about.
Can you talk about it?
I can, but I mean, I probably can. If I can't, then it's fine. I'll deal with it later.
Just don't break the border
of the NDA.
I'm you can say just enough.
Right. There's nothing I can't say at this point. I'm like, it's fine. But it's just on this new Netflix show called Spinning Out with Jonathan Van Ness from Queer Eye, and I'm like obsessed with him.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I'm like, I hope that he hears it, and then we can be best friends.
You know?
Yeah.
You can get the Queer Eye look.
You really never know. I feel like we love each other, but it's fine.
That's fucking ill. Are you working through a pub?
No. Yeah, I'm actually unpublished. Yep. She's unpublished. Hello. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Fucking go.
That's
fucking amazing.
She's grinding.
Have you been in a situation where, like, I guess you walk into, like, one of these stores or you just, like, turn on MTV or whatever and then your songs are just randomly playing?
It doesn't happen as much as I wanted to, but I always think about it. Like, I, like, walk by, like, an H&M or, like, something where I know my song's on the playlist, and I'm like, I'll just stroll in. I'm like, nope, not today. But it actually did happen to me in Starbucks, like, a couple months ago, and then I was, like, ordering, and I was, like, on the phone, and one of my songs started playing, and I was like, wait, and I was, like, so not cool about it. Like, I feel like most people would just be like, you know, this is my song, or, like, not say anything, and I was, like, getting my coffee from the barista. I was like, this is my song. I was like, no, this is me. She's like, it'll be $4. I was like, okay, wait, but I feel like you don't understand. Yeah. I was like calling my mom. I'm like, get excited with me.
Mom, I'm at Starbucks right now listening to my song at Starbucks.
You know my mom will be like so stoked. She's like, I'm going to catch a flight. I'll get there right now.
That's funny.
It's so funny.
What is, you know, I know your mom's musically inclined, but then what does your dad think about you pursuing music as a career?
He's oddly very supportive for being...
Oddly very supportive.
Yeah, because you know how it is. Like, sometimes, like, parents just don't understand the music thing. It's like a hard thing to grasp because, I mean, I guess in their time, there weren't as many outlets to actually do it as a career, you know? So they're just like, what do you do? Like, every family function, everyone's like, are you on American Idol? I'm like, no, I'm not.
That show was canceled a couple years ago, by the way.
You should try out. You should go on American Idol. I'm like, I'm doing it, though. I'm like, it's okay.
But, I mean, even so, I don't think people realize the extent and the demandingness that a TV show really has on you. I've spoken to people who have been on, like, Netflix's Rhythm and Flow, people who have been on American Idol and The Voice, and they all just have this cohesive thought that, like, it's a lot more depressing than people think it actually is.
Oh, I can imagine, for sure. I mean, I'm always like, that would be amazing, but that wasn't the route I took with my life. Yeah. I've never done anything like that, like been on any sort of show or whatever, but I know it can be a really good outlet for people to, like, come up, though. For sure.
So then plans for, like, 2020, do you think you're going to drop, like, just straight up singles, an album, performances? What you got coming?
So without saying too much, I was like, without saying too much.
Just say just enough.
Yeah, like just enough. You know me, like, not being able to say just enough. It's always like, oh, I said I wasn't going to say too much 10 minutes later. But yeah, I was writing a bunch this year and got a little project together. Ooh. So, you know, I got a little something for you 2020.
Huh? It's going to be at every single Forever 21
Yeah,
H&M
Forever 21. Even though I think Forever 21's closing, isn't it?
Oh.
I saw some shit. I was like, what? Damn.
I did not know that.
So you might not hear it in there.
Okay, Urban Outfitters.
Let's go.
That's always relevant because their prices are so fucking high.
Right. I'm like, play my music, thank you.
So you got the project coming. Any performances?
So this year actually signed with a booking agency. Shout out APA. So I just started touring and I finished, like, a college tour last week, and I'm starting to figure out 2020 tour dates. So I will let you know when I actually have them, so I don't say anything that hasn't happened yet.
Everything's on an ellipses right now.
Right.
You know, the dot for people.
The dot. Yeah, it's coming together though. I'm like, keep an eye out.
Right. Emily, we're just going to go through, like, a quick round of questions.
Let's do it.
So, obviously, we're at the lunch table. What's your favorite food to eat?
I'm going to have to say tacos. I eat chicken tacos, like, once or twice a day. It's bad.
Once or twice a day?
I need to branch out. Yeah.
You definitely do.
It's really bad. And, like, Mexican food is it for me. Like, every day it's bad.
Dream collaboration.
I would have
for an artist and a producer.
Artist and producer. Okay. I think Ariana Grande. I would, like, that would be everything to me if we could collab. Artist wise, I'm like, Ari, if you're watching, I love you. And producer, I have just always loved Max Martin because of, like, obviously growing up listening to Taylor Swift and stuff, and, like, everything that he's ever done is, like, an absolute bop. So one day that would be dope.
We're going to speak it into existence.
We're just speaking
right
it.
here.
I believe in that. We're manifesting. Like, let's go.
Emily Vaughn, thank you for stopping by the lunch table, homegirl. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Emily Vaughn X and Twitter and Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to music.
There you go. And this is the lunch table, food for thought. I'm Nico Blitz, Emily Vaughn. Check out Batty. Also check out Bitch Bop too.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.